Good evening and welcome. I'm Sheila Balgobin, and I am the Dream Decipherer, and I help you to crack the code of your sleep and dreams so you can sleep sound and dream deep. This evening's subject is about lucid dreaming, and I call this being wide awake in your dreams. And I'd like to start this off with a poem by Edgar Allan Poe, just a phrase from it, a stanza. And it says that all that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. So, how does that relate to lucid dreaming? Well, first, what is lucid dreaming? Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been asleep and then suddenly said to yourself, it's only a dream? Or manage to somehow in your dream take control of what's happening in the dream? That is a lucid dream. I know I've had dreams like that where years ago I dreaming about what was a nightmare, but somebody chasing me. And I remember thinking in my sleep, oh, great, this is only a dream. That's a lucid dream where some part of your conscious mind is still aware, and is in a sense observing yourself, observing your dream. A number of people have experienced lucid dreaming, and some of them are even able to enter their dreams and control elements of it. According to some research that has been done, around half of all people who have had a lucid dream at some time in their lives, and about 11% experience one or two lucid dreams per month. So it's actually more common than people think. However, it's unclear how many people actually experience lucid dreaming, though certain studies have tried to gather information regarding how common it is. And it seems it is quite common. Researchers in Brazil had surveyed some 3,400 odd participants with an average age of 25. And what they found in the survey was that 77% of these some 3,400 participants had experienced lucid dreaming at least once. So, excuse me, going back to defining lucid dreaming, usually when we dream, we don't know that the dream is not real. Or as a character from the movie Inception describes it, well, dreams, they feel real while we're in them, right? It's only when we wake up that we realize that something was actually strange. But as I mentioned before, some people are able to enter a dream and be fully aware of the fact that they are actually dreaming and but interacting with the dream. The first recorded incident of lucid dreaming appears to have been written by the Greek philosopher Aristotle, in which he describes an instance of self-awareness during a dream state. But when does this happen? When does this take place? Well, like all dreams or most dreams, lucid dreaming will usually occur during REM sleep. For some people, it occurs spontaneously, but others can actually kind of set themselves up before sleeping, so to speak, to be able to dream lucidly. To the degree that a person can influence their dreams will also vary, with some people simply waking up once they realize they're actually dreaming, while other people may be able to influence their actions within the dream, or parts of the dream, or in the case of particularly traumatic dreams, change the outcome. And one of the therapies that are used to treat people who have suffered PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome, is to actually use dream therapy to be able to re-enter traumatic situations and feelings and unpack them that way. So, which leads nicely into the next thing is how can lucid dreaming actually be used? It enables us to, first of all, to explore our own inner worlds with awareness that we are in a dream. And it, can seem almost magical to kind of stand back and observe yourself in this dream state. It can help people, as I was saying before, with nightmares and resolving of fears. But are there any actual practical applications? There is an expert, a Dr. Aspie, a dream expert at the University of Adelaide in Australia, who states that lucid dreaming can actually be therapeutic. According to this Dr. Aspie, its main application is to address nightmares, particularly recurring ones, which may be actually affecting a person's quality of life. So it's this type of therapy is actually called lucid dreaming therapy. It's also has the potential to help people with phobias such as fear of flying or of spiders. So if a person has a particular phobia, their lucid dream environment provides an opportunity to do things like what they call exposure therapy, like gradually exposing you to something that you fear or dislike, in order to become desensitized. During lucid dreaming, an individual knows that they're not in the real world so that they can safely explore their fears without actually feeling threatened by whatever it is they fear. Another area that lucid dreaming can be helpful is with creativity. Lucid dreamers can go on adventures and interact in with people and places in ways that they may not do in waking life. Problem solving and the generation of new ideas can also take place during lucid dreaming. There is a female author, I can't quite recall her name, but she said she would always get her best ideas while she was daydreaming, while getting her hair done. So you see, just having that relaxation of the mind frees up creativity so that something can come to the surface. Uh, there have been techniques developed for lucid dreaming, and there studies were done to look at three common techniques. One which is called reality testing, and this is actually verifying whether you're actually dreaming. Both, well, you can do this both in waking life as well as in a dream. For instance, during the day, a person may ask themselves, "Am I dreaming right now?" And it's like, they're trying to feed their 2-year-old and answering the phone at the same time. They're probably saying, "No, I wish this was a dream." But or to pretend, to see, touch a wall and say, "Can I put my hand through this wall? Am I dreaming now?" Obviously not. So the technique relies on intention. In real life, the wall will remain solid and impenetrable, but in a dream, the hand can pass right through it. So you're just checking reality. Is this really happening or not? Um, there's doing this repeatedly during the day. It can kind of prepare you to do it at night. It will become more as it becomes more of a habit. This another one which may not be too favorable with people who are trying to get some sleep is waking back to bed, and this is requires you to set your alarm to wake yourself up in around 5 or 6 hours after you go to sleep, and then stay up for a while and then go back to bed, which usually will send you into a deeper sleep where REM takes place, and where it's more likely for a lucid dream to happen. But you know, that's a bit extreme, perhaps for some. if they're really struggling with sleep. I mean, deliberately waking yourself up may or may not be the best thing. There's a third technique that's called mnemonic induction. And that is another thing that you have to practice before you can do it. But you're basically repeating a phrase, such as "Tonight I will notice that I'm dreaming," to, in a sense, set the brain or set the unconscious mind to work in tandem with the conscious mind so that you can dream lucidly. But that takes time. Again, you have to program that behavior into your mind, basically. But there's it people who find it easy to dream in general, and don't have trouble recalling their dreams, are probably the most likely to dream, have lucid dreams on a regular basis. Uh, so if you remember your dreams generally, the more likely you are to have lucid dreams. But helping you to remember your dreams, or to recall your dreams, or to even to be able to re-enter dreams, and there's psychological techniques that actually are used to do that, to re-enter dreams and to interact with it differently. But you can keep a dream journal. Just the fact that you're noting your dreams, the unconscious seems to help you to remember more, and maybe even to be able to step back more, and observe the dreams in a lucid way. Meditation could be helpful as well, as it or mindfulness techniques, because again, it trains the brain to be more self-aware, if you will, and to take more note of surroundings in general. So, people wonder, is it possible that you can get stuck in a dream and you can't wake up? But there's no evidence to show that can happen. Generally, people are only able to sleep and dream for a set amount of time every night. So it's very unlikely that a person would get stuck sleeping or stuck in a lucid dream. And if it's a lucid dream, you know that you're dreaming. So it's like, okay, I know this is a dream. My hand passes through the wall, so it's a dream, and I can wake up if you look at it that way. And another concern that some people may express is that people engaging in lucid dreaming need to have a lot of focus and make a lot of effort, which meaning that the sleeper is not getting much rest. There's no evidence according to this dream expert, Dr. Aspie. And he says that the subjects that he's worked with over the years have not expressed any additional tiredness or poorer sleep quality as a result of lucid dreaming. Um, but there is a caution here that if people have issues with serious mental health issues such as schizophrenia, that this is something that should be avoided, as it can actually worsen the condition of schizophrenia, because there's already a breakdown between reality and fantasy, so that would only increase the tendency. um, there's some arguments between researchers about lucid dreams intentionally blurring the lines between dreaming and reality, and that this could have a negative as impact on long-term mental health. For some groups, it seems to be largely ineffective, such as people with PTSD. So which goes back to what I was saying, that it's the use of lucid dreaming could be used for PTSD, but here they're saying that it may be ineffective. So, you know, people have to really investigate what works for them, because we're all individuals, and what works 10 other people may not work for you. You may need something else. But there is a call for more research to see how it might affect certain more vulnerable groups of people and with mental health issues, including people who experience dissociation, like they're just kind of out of body almost completely, and kind of separated from themselves. So there you have it. Lucid dreaming can be a source of adventure and creativity, but it's something that should be approached with care. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Have a great evening and start to the week, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.